Like I said, the GIA Wellness Plan, it's like any other plan. You know, there's a lot of nuances to it and a lot of detail to it. So I'm going to start from the beginning and go from the beginning levels all the way through to the higher levels and just talk about the main points of each of those levels. And I think you'll see as we go along that there's some things that continue to happen over and over again, which will make this a lot easier as we go through it. So let's just get started. What I wanted to do first is start out with the estimated income ranks for the ranks at GIA, and you can tell here it starts at the manager level. We have 2 levels below manager, but for this slide I just started at manager, and it goes all the way up to 2-star presidential director. And this is based on the qualifying volume for each level. And so what I do with people when I'm talking to someone, I might show them this and I just, hey, pick an income that really excites you and let's go for it. But you can see that there's a pretty wide range of income potential with the GIA. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go over each one of these ranks and talk about the different nuances about what it takes to become a manager all the way up to at least 1-star presidential director. By the way, I'm a 1-star presidential director. There isn't a 2-star presidential director yet. So Karyn, that is wide open for you. Right, Kedzi? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get started. So the first rank in GIA is called a consultant, and that's usually a person that's come in by themselves and they've accumulated, or they've come in and they've gotten a package of $250, or maybe they've sponsored one person and created that volume in a month. And so the volume requirement is $250. There is an automatic reorder requirement to get paid with GIA. And you have a choice of having that volume on an automatic reorder, or you can purchase that volume yourself. And so in this case, the automatic reorder volume is $35. If someone chose not to be on automatic reorder, they could actually buy something or have somebody buy something on their number for $50 or higher, and that would qualify them for that requirement. The income range is about $20 to $40, and as I said, the commissions on this level are paid down 1 level. Next, we have the senior consultant level, and the volume requirement on that is $500. We still have the same automatic reorder requirement, so you have a choice of $35 automatic reorder or $50 order on your number. The income is anywhere from $40 to $100 on estimated, and the commissions now are paid out on 2 levels. And at this level, at these 2 levels, the product purchase discount is 20% below retail, and the retail commissions are 20%. So if someone goes to your website and they order, the company will pay you 20% on that volume. Pretty simple concept. Kedzi, do you think I missed anything on this one?
I know you'll repeat this again. I'll just say that, remember, that this does not include bonuses. The earnings does not include bonuses.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Kedzi, and I'm going to cover the bonuses at the end of this presentation, and I've actually put them all on one slide today so that we can look at all the bonuses, because I think that's really an important place to end our program today. Thanks, Kedzi. So now we're going to move to the next level, which is the manager level, and this is honestly a lot of folks come in at this level, so they'll purchase a $1,000 package or higher. Anything between after $1,000, you become a manager. And it's pretty significant because you can purchase products now at 30% below retail. And the retail commission is now at 30%. And that's now paid, those paid commissions are on 3 levels. So that's an important distinction. The volume requirement as a manager to qualify to get this level is $1,000. And that, like I said, that $1,000 can happen on your own, so you can come in and become a manager by purchasing a package, or you can come in at a lower rank and then accumulate $1,000 in a single month, and you become a manager also and have all the same rights as someone who came in as a manager. So we call that I call it a work-up manager. So it's a really good opportunity for someone who maybe $1,000 out of their range, and we just say, come on in at whatever works for you, and let's get together and go to work, and let's get to manager as fast as we can. The ARO requirement now, the automatic reorder requirement, is raised to $100. And so that means that from this point on, and all the levels, the automatic reorder requirement is $100. And still, they give you the option of not having an automatic reorder and purchasing $150 on your number, or having a sale of at least $150 on your ID number. And that is going to happen throughout the levels as we go along. Kedzi, did you want to say something?
No, the only other thing was specifying that to be able to enroll to become a manager, to become a full-fledged manager, has to happen in the first 30 days. Otherwise, you have to purchase to upgrade.
Okay, good. The income range for a manager, as we saw on the chart, is between $100 and $200. I mean, it can be higher than that, but this is probably a good average income for a manager. And you'll notice the last thing on here is that requalifying as a manager, it's $1,000 every single month, a minimum of $1,000 to requalify as a manager. All righty. And any questions before I go? I'm going to ask questions as we go along, Kedzi, if that's okay.
Please.
Okay, good. I think they got that. Okay, so next is junior director. And by the way, people, like I said, people do come in as managers. The majority of people do, and a lot of people who come in at lower ranks do reach manager in that first month. It really is not that difficult to do. So now we have junior director, and we're starting to move up in that plan. And now the requirement for junior director, I'm going to move this over. The requirement for junior director is $5,000 in volume, and that volume is accumulated in our first 4 levels, and that's an important distinction. So as you are qualifying for your ranks, the company or the computer is going to look at the volume in your first 4 levels, and that's called group volume. And so the group volume requirement is $5,000. The income range is $300 to $1,000, and the requalifying is with 3 senior consultant legs. And you recall when we first looked at the first page, a senior consultant is a consultant that has $500 in volume. So as you see the picture of the circles at the top, this person has 3 people who have at least accumulated $500 in volume. And then with the rest of the people in that organization, they've accumulated a total of $5,000 to reach the junior director level. Kedzi, anything there?
Well, I know you're going to go over bonuses later, so we'll just leave that off if you want to, but that's about it.
Okay. Okay, so now we go to the director level, and this is pretty significant now because your team is really starting to grow. I know that I only show three legs here, but it could be more than 3 legs, and you can imagine that there are people underneath these legs, and there could be 10 or 20 people in an organization. The volume requirement is $10,000 in volume to reach this director level. And again, that's going to be in your first 4 levels. You're required to have 3 manager legs, 3 different legs that qualify at manager or above. And again, that's going to be in your first 4 levels. And so you could sponsor someone directly, and maybe they don't do much this month, but they've sponsored several people. And if one of those people in those first 4 levels is a manager, that meets the qualification. And that's a really important piece of our compensation plan that I think really makes it special, is that you don't necessarily need to sponsor the person who really goes after this and is that person for your qualification. Many times in comp plans, my understanding is that you are required to sponsor that person and help that person to keep going and keep producing, and that can be very frustrating. In this case, we're able to go as wide as we want, we can go as deep as we want, and the computer will look down your line to find that qualifying leg, and that's really, really important as the team starts to grow. The income range for the director is $600 to $2,000. The requalifying, now this is another really good benefit of our program. The requalifying is with 3 manager legs, as it is for the qualification, but the volume qualification drops down to 7,500. So they make it easier to requalify once you reach this level, and that's pretty amazing, I think, also. Now, the other thing about reaching director, before this, you could only be paid on your first 3 levels of sponsorship. Now with the director, they're going to add 3% more, and they're going to go beyond the third level. And so they're going to add 3% to all of your volume, even in the first three levels. So now you're starting to make some pretty significant money, $600 to $2,000 a month. Your team is starting to expand. You're probably finding some leaders in there who are now working with you, and it's getting kind of exciting. And so somebody might ask, how long does it take to get to director? And to be honest, we've seen people get to director in a few weeks, and we've seen people that take much longer than that. It just depends. And you know as well as I do that it's all about exposing people to what GIA has to offer. So there really is no limitation on how fast someone can move up the ranks. Kedzi, anything I missed?
No, I love pointing out how much easier it is to re-qualify for a director, you know, because it seems like a huge jump to go from junior director, well, first from manager to junior director and then all the way to director. But then all of a sudden we realize, wow, we did all that, and now we can look, not that most people who are excited about this are going to be satisfied with staying
right
in one place for too long, but once you understand the bonuses, you'll see why director is such a pivotal place to be and maintain no lower than that.
Yeah, I think too, this idea that they've lowered the qualification in the second month, sometimes when we go and reach a new level, we've really gone after it, and we've gone and talked to everybody we possibly can to get there, and it becomes frustrating the next month if you can't reach that high level again. And so now they've reduced the qualification, and it just makes it doable for a lot of people. And there's one other thing that happens at director that I think is super significant for GIA. This is where the CAR program begins to kick in, and it really is at a low level. I don't know of any other company that will allow a CAR program to start to begin with such low volume. I mean, $7,500 in volume, and they're allowing people with GIA to start the CAR program. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that at the end, but I think that's pretty special. I think it's a great incentive for people to get to director and to continue to qualify at that level and to be able to drive a company car, a car paid for by our company. To me, it's one of the special perks of network marketing, really. So now we're gonna move on, and if anybody has a question, just unmute and ask me, and we'll get into more detail of anything that you want to talk about. Okay, next is senior director, and this is a very significant level. You can tell that now the team is really starting to grow. It takes 5 manager legs to become a senior director, and the truth is about senior is that it's almost possible to get there on your own effort. And that just means you could sponsor a lot of people and create a lot of volume and get there on your own, but it's most likely going to happen when you have a team really starting to form. And so as I show these manager legs here, all $1,000 manager legs, it's likely that one of these might be a director, and it really has one leg that's really starting to take off. And then you have these other folks who are beginning their career and moving forward. You'll find at the next level I talk about, it's definitely not doable by yourself, but this is something you can really get after and really help to make this level. The group volume requirement is $20,000 in the month. And remember, this volume that they're looking at is in your first 4 levels. So that's an important distinction. In your first 4 levels, they're looking at that volume. When it reaches 20,000, then you reach this level. Also, I think another nuance about the way to look at the first 4 levels, for example, if you have someone on the first level that's doing nothing, the computer will look down to the 5th level and down to the 6th level to find the person that counts for that 4-level volume. So it really does, it makes it a lot easier that way.
Doing their automatic.
I'm going to go ahead and mute that one. Okay, so there's 5 manager legs in the first 4 levels. The income range is $1,500 to $3,000 a month. The requalification, again, they've lowered the requalification to $15,000 in volume. You still have to have the 5 manager legs, but they've made it a little easier to requalify at the senior director level. And I think this is an important level because when you're helping someone to start to earn $1,500 to $3,000 a month. I mean, that's pretty significant. Most people are pretty part-time still at this level, but I think people begin to think about the opportunity to go at this on a full-time career because they can see the possibilities for the future. Kedzi, do you agree with that?
I would agree.
Okay,
I would
good.
agree. It kind of, I'm not going to say it takes over, but you've learned so much that by this time you've become pretty adept at knowing what's going on.
Yeah, and it's very likely at this point you have several people now who are looking at GIA possibly from that career point of view, and they're really serious about building and taking advantage of all the comp plan has to offer. And it really becomes a lot of fun at this point. The next level is called Executive Director, and now we're really talking about building an organization, and where you definitely have at least a few leaders who are starting to grow. You're definitely not doing this by yourself. You've done a lot to get to this point, helping people to become leaders, and now your team is starting to grow, and it almost gets a mind of its own that you almost can't stop. And you can tell by the circles at the top there that we have at least 2 directors in this organization. So you have to have 2 directors, and then you have to have 5 manager legs and to qualify at this level. And again, they're going to look at the first 4 levels, and the group volume requirement is $30,000. Now this is really significant. The team is humming, things are happening, and it's just really an exciting place to be. The income range is $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Of course, the car program is now $500 a month for the car. And the requalifying for executive director is 2 directors and 4 manager legs. So they didn't lower the volume, they just reduced the number of manager legs needed to qualify. They made it just a little bit easier. And that may not seem like a lot, but it really is. It really is to not have to qualify that last manager leg. And this is really where your people are beginning to go full-time and see that career opportunity with GIA. And the cool thing I love about this one is that you've got some directors now. You might have some directors down below the directors, and it's starting to grow. And the thing about directors is they pretty much are getting to a point where they can be the leaders to start to do the things that you've done and start to duplicate now in an organization, and it becomes a lot of fun. Kedzi, anything else on this?
No, I can't say that you missed anything.
Okay, great. Okay, now this is Presidential Director, and boy, you can see I only have a few circles here, but you can imagine what this would look like if we were to draw out a Presidential Director's organization. There's a lot of people in the organization. There's probably directors, junior directors, several levels down, maybe 4, 5, 6 levels down, and this really is kind of a full-time idea, I believe, here. It's where someone can really make that decision to really go for it. The volume requirement in your first 4 levels is $40,000 in volume. It takes 2 senior directors or 3 director legs and 6 manager legs in your first 4 levels. And I love this because it gives us some flexibility on how we qualify at Presidential Director. At one time, it used to be that you had to have 2 senior directors. And that meant you had to have 2 super serious people who are pretty much, really going after it and creating volume and leadership. So we decided, working with the company, that we'd like that option to have at least 3 directors. And I really think that is a really great way to grow, with at least 3 legs that are growing instead of just 2. And so I really look for helping people to help people get to director. Really, that's the building block of GIA. It's helping people reach director, get into the car program, and maintain director or above from then on. The income range is $5,000 to $15,000 a month, and it's a fun place. It's a fun place to be. And when I started with GIA, this is the goal I set for myself on day one. I didn't even hardly think of anything else. It was just like get to Presidential Director as fast as I could. I did one of those burn the bridges kind of moments where I stopped doing what I was doing. There wasn't any money coming in, and I just knew this is where I had to be based on the income and so on. So I just went for it, put my head down, and like I said, I didn't really understand the comp plan. I just knew if I got here, things would work out pretty well. And so I like to say to people, if you really want to do this, then set your sights on presidential director. And you have some leaders out there, your team will be growing and having fun, you'll have people making an income, and you'll be well on your way to a full-time career also. Kedzi, anything on this?
And the car bonus is how much?
Let's see, the car bonus is $600. $600. And we'll talk a little bit more about the car bonus in a moment. But you can get a pretty nice car at $600 a month. I can say that. Okay, so next is one-star presidential director. They've changed it a little bit from those other qualifications. Now you have an organizational volume of $150,000 to reach the one-star presidential level. You have to have 2 senior director legs or 3 manager legs, so that remains the same. So really it's the volume that's changing here. So you don't have to worry so much about qualifying legs so much as you do about getting to the volume. And I think that really helps you to go down and work deep in your organization and helping those people way in the lower levels to be successful. And I really like that they've done that with the one-star presidential director, $700 car program. And yeah. I wish I could draw out all the circles that would be under here. It would be pretty massive probably by now as an organization goes. And you're going to be spending a lot of your time helping your team move up in the ranks for sure. Now, Kedzi, I didn't do the two-star. I think it's 300,000 in volume to reach 2-star. We haven't gotten there yet, so it's pretty wide open for anybody who's got some ambition. And it's going to be like the 4-minute mile. I don't know if you remember that, but everybody said 4-minute mile was impossible until somebody did it, and then everybody did it. So I have a feeling whoever reaches it first is going to set the pace. So I wanted to end our program tonight talking about the GIA Wellness bonus, Abundance Plan bonuses, because this really is important for people who are starting out. And Alfred and Linda, in their wisdom about creating a successful network marketing company, they wanted people to start making money right away. You can tell by the compensation plan that it grows as fast as you want it to grow, but it could take a while. It could take a little while to start making the kind of money that would really get somebody excited. And so what they've done is they've come up with quite a few bonus programs for us. And I'm just going to go over these one at a time. There might be one that I missed, and I mean they're always coming up with ways to give money away. I'm not kidding you. It's amazing what they do. So let's go from the top down. Team expansion bonus. This is a $100 bonus that you receive every time you expand your front level team by 3 in a 90-day period. Now, to qualify for this bonus, you have to sponsor at least 3 people at $250 or higher in your first 30 days. And that's 30 days from the day that you signed up, not 30-day calendar. It's 30 days from the day you signed up. Now, there might be some people who are tuning in tonight who didn't qualify for that in their first 3 months. Just know that every once in a while, they'll come back with a special incentive for a month to allow us to do it again. So if someone didn't get it, usually maybe twice a year they'll come back and they'll allow us to do it again. And so every time you sponsor someone in a 98-day period, so you could sponsor more than 3 in 90 days. You could sponsor 6, 12, 20. And for every single one of those, you get an extra $100. It's really cool. The Forever bonus is a $100 bonus on every front level business builder. And what that means is you sponsor 3 business builders. Now, a business builder is someone who joins us and purchases a $2,000 package or more, that we call those business builders. And so if you were able to sponsor 3 of those in your first month, from now on forever, every time you sponsor a business builder, the company is going to give you an extra $100 for every one of those. So it's a pretty significant bonus for someone who is able to go out and really get started quickly and help people see the value of purchasing a business builder package. And there's something else that happens when people come in as a business builder. I think I've had it here somewhere. I don't know. Let's see. Do I have it written down? Oh, yeah, I do. I'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah. Well, let me just say this. So for people who do come in at $2,000 or higher, the company will raise your front level commission from 8% to 10%. And I don't know if anybody in this group has done that, but that's kind of valuable over time, that little bonus. But there's another way to do that we'll talk about in a minute. Kedzi, if I'm missing anything, let me know.
One question. In the times that they've allowed us to do what they call catch-up, where people who didn't make it can do it, do you remember them including the forever bonus in that catch-up?
Yes, they've done that, yes.
Okay.
Maybe not at the same time, but they've done that. They've had a restart for that also.
Okay, good.
All right. So the next one, we call it the IH2O bonus, and this is a $50 bonus every time a front-level consultant orders an IH2O system. And this means anytime they order it outside of the manager pack or a business builder pack. And so this is a check, interestingly. In fact, most of these checks come on a weekly basis, and so you're kind of surprised when they show up, because you don't really pay attention when someone that you've sponsored purchases a water system, and all of a sudden you get a $50 check, and we kind of call them happy checks, and it's always fun. So this is just a special bonus they put in there for someone when someone you've sponsored at some point purchases an IA water system. Next, we've got the Abundance Club, and this is a $150 bonus every time the Abundance Club is achieved. Achieving the Abundance Club in your first month is pretty important and pretty special, because they'll also raise your first level commission from 8% to 10% by doing the Abundance Club. And so it's important, I think, to explain this to your new folks, because that 2% over time can be pretty significant. And the Abundance Club is a blast. It's doing 15 presentations in 14 days, and it's getting out there and really doing the business, doing the job of exposing GIA, and it's such a valuable learning process for anybody that's new. And I think it's also fun to do it together with your teammate. But Abundance Club is a good way to start momentum. It's a great way to restart momentum for people who might be around for a while. I think also it's great for a team to get together and just decide that in a month they're going to do Abundance Clubs together and see how many people can actually do the presentations and achieve the Abundance Club. Kedzi, anything?
Yeah, you just mentioned someone that's been around for since earlier this year. She just finished her, I think, officially first Abundance Club, and it helped her get to her next biggest rank.
Great.
So that's the other piece. It helps you up rank faster than just about anything.
Yeah, up ranking, starting to earn money, and I think also from a training point of view, anything that you do over and over and over for a short period of time really cements the learning and the techniques, and I think it's such an important, valuable thing to do for a team. The next thing, we have the manager qualification bonus, and this is a special bonus of $50 for someone who qualifies at the manager rank. And so what happens is they just send you a $50 check for qualifying at manager. And it helps people to at least shoot for manager in your organization. And it's just helpful to help people receive a check. And that's such a critical thing in network marketing, that people receive a check from the company. And so every time someone qualifies at manager, the check is sent out. If you qualify above manager, you don't get the $50 bonus. So it's just for that person who reaches the manager rank. Next, we have the car bonus program. Honestly, probably my favorite part of GIA, and I really worked hard with the company to help them come up with a program that would be easy to do, that would have a great incentive for people to reach a significant level, that kind of foundational level of director. And I think it's worked really, really well for us. It starts at $300 at the director level. You have to qualify for 3 months, so that means you have to reach director or above for 3 months. You become qualified, and then you have to reach director again in your 4th month. The check that you'll receive will come with your check on the 20th of the next month. So it does take some qualification, but I think it's really good that they're asking us to basically for 4 months qualify at the level for the car bonus program. And I say that because we don't want someone going out and purchasing a car, getting on the car bonus program, and then waking up 3 months or the next month and not being able to qualify. That's a kind of a negative concept that we're really working on with this program to stay away from. And so we have a lot of people on the car program. You'll see pictures of people. I think Dave Stapp just got his new car, and we posted it on our team page. I love it because it's advertising for yourself when you're driving the car and you drive up to someone's house and you're doing a presentation and you show them your car that the company's paying for. And I think it's also good for us to share the good news with our prospects and people, even if we're not on the car program. I like to post pictures of people's car on Facebook and just let everybody know that the car program is a really significant bonus in our company. Kedzi?
And there's one, it's easier to requalify just in case some glitch happens. It's easier to again qualify.
Yeah, and there's a document in the back office. I'm sorry, in the GIA University that spells out the qualifications, and there's some like if you just happen to don't qualify one of the months after you get on it, there's a grace period. So they're not really strict with it, but they want everybody in the company to have and enjoy a car paid for by the company. Now, next one, this is kind of exciting today because the enrollment quick start bonus Alfred talked about on our launch call. And the way we look at it, it's up to 20%, so it can be as high as 20%. And during the month of November, Alfred's decided to double the first level bonus. So I'm going to try to describe this to you without have it written out. So when you sponsor someone from $250 to $999, the front level quick start bonus is 5%. For this coming month, the front level bonus for that volume is going to be 10%. And I think Alfred gave us that example on the call. But here's the best part. When you help that person sponsor someone on their first level, you're going to earn an additional 5% on the volume that person creates. And so if you sponsor someone for $250 and they sponsor someone for $250, you're going to earn 10% on the first level volume and you're going to earn 5% on the second level volume. And so what they're trying to do here is give us the incentive to go help people to sponsor. And I really like that we can earn by helping other people. Now, when you sponsor someone at manager, from manager up to the business builder, so $1,000 to $2,000, the normal quick start bonus is $100. So if it's $1,000 manager, it's going to be $100. If it's $1,500 manager, it's going to be $100. That's the bonus, and that's important. Now, when you help that person sponsor someone below them at $250 or higher, they're going to give you another $100. They make it super easy to get the second part of this quick start bonus. So it's $250 or higher, and you're going to get another $100, and it has to be in the next 30 days that has to happen. Now this month, because of the double bonus idea, you're going to receive $200 on your first level, and then if you help them sponsor someone under them at $250 or higher, you're going to get another $100. So really, it's $300 for sponsoring two people, helping someone sponsor. Now, the business builder, when you sponsor a business builder, the bonus is $200. Now, for this month, it's going to be $400. And when you help that person sponsor someone under them at $500 or higher, you're going to get another $200. That's crazy. I mean, that's such a great bonus. And we call it the Quick Start bonus. And the reason why they put this together, it's really it's to reward everybody who goes out and shares the entire GIA story, that they help people to see the opportunity to join us, and they're really rewarding those people who have the ability to positively influence people and have that can actually go out and start building a team. So the point here is that someone could join us, and by using all of these bonuses together could really start to create an income, I think, much greater than any other company out there because of the bonuses. So really, when someone gets after it in their first month, second month, this is a lot of the income that's going to be coming in. And I think Karyn did a great job of fanning the checks that she got. And I can tell you, they came all at different times. I don't know, I think she might not have been home, but I mean, you might get a check every single day. when you're really getting after it and you're sponsoring people and you're doing some of these bonus programs. It's amazing. And if we can help someone, man, if we can help someone earn $500 or $1,000 in their first or second month, they're going to be with us forever. And it's really exciting that we have this bonus program to allow us to do that while the team grows, while they're creating the volume that we talked about with the other levels. And then finally, the company is constantly coming up with special bonuses and incentives to help us to be excited about building our teams. I think Karyn just got a bonus at our last event. She was the leader they gave away, the money they gave away was for the event, getting to the event. I think it was $600 and some odd that she earned in bonus money by growing her team. And so what they try to do is they try to put bonuses on the activities that help you to grow your team. So not only did she get the bonus of $600 and some odd from them at the event, but she also created volume, she created an organization, and that work that she did in those few weeks now will go on for the rest of her career and help to make this a very special experience for her. And she did a great job on that. So that's really it in a nutshell. That's probably the fastest I've ever gone through it, but I'm glad that we're recording it.